Right, you can't hear me. Yeah, well, you can hear me live, but not in there. Yeah. I'm ready. Oops. Okay. Save it. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to Let's Talk About Ice on the Couch. Live from my living room this week. Andrea's what was I going to say? I don't know. Andrea's at Rotary meeting tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But welcome to live stream tonight. We've got a very special guest that we're actually going to cross over to, who lives on the Sunshine Coast, who has a family support story, which would be great. So if you know of anybody who needs to listen to this story of how someone in addiction affects the family, please share this now with your friends and family through your Facebook so that they do not miss it, okay? Because we can be somebody's hope, we can be somebody's encouragement. So you may know somebody who's going through addiction, you may be doing it, struggling there yourself. Okay, so this story tonight will be for you, okay? It'll be something that can help you, encourage you, and you can also call us on our family support line, 1-800-NO-TO-ICE, after the show or tomorrow if you feel that you need some support tonight. So I want to thank you for tuning in, viewers, to our regular viewers. Thank you to all those that are new. I'd like to say welcome to our Australian Anti-Ice campaign live stream called Let's Talk About Ice. So we're going to do some housekeeping at the moment. So at the moment, I'd just like to thank Mark Raffs and the team. Elliot was our wonderful captain on Sunday, and Donna made our cruise very cruisy and loving it. She's a lovely hostess on Cruising Gold Coast. So every second month, Cruising Gold Coast donates a Sunday afternoon sunset tour, donates all the money made from that to an Australian Anti-Ice campaign. So we're very thankful to Cruising Gold Coast for that. Thank you, Mark Raffs, Mel, Donna, and Captain Elliot. It was really good. We thoroughly enjoyed it on Sunday. The weather was perfect. You wouldn't think it today. Here on the Gold Coast, it was absolutely pelting rain most of the day. We're going to be having it all week, I think. Anyway, I ain't a weather girl, so getting on with further stuff. I've got some exciting news. On Monday morning, if you're up early, getting ready for work or school or uni, turn your television on. Don't normally suggest this. Turn it on to Sky News, because our one and only Andrea will be interviewed on the Sky News breakfast program on Monday morning. So that's exciting for us, getting the word out, and support her by listening in, watching, and and let us know what you think. That'd be great. So that's this coming Monday morning, Sky News breakfast on television, on the Sky channel. Okay. The other thing is Melbourne raffle is finally being drawn tomorrow. So we've got some amazing prizes in the raffle. We've got cruise down the Yarra, we've got a winery tour, and we've got family portrait sessions and many other prizes for you that will be drawn tomorrow morning. Our wonderful Tim Sell in Melbourne will be drawing that at 11:15 Melbourne time, which means 10:15 our time, Queensland time, tomorrow morning, and he will be crossing live. We're hoping to get up the live stream for him to do the draw live so everybody can watch and see, and so we're looking forward to that happening tomorrow. He'll be at South Bank. If anyone in Melbourne would love to go and support him at 10:15, say 10 o'clock, that would be great. Sorry, that's Queensland time. I'm talking 11 o'clock Melbourne time for the draw to be taking place at 11:15. So if you're down in Melbourne, drop by Berth 2 on the docks there at South Bank, and he'll be doing the draw there tomorrow. So that's great. Can I talk about the Rotary Ramble now? We've had to put thanks, Brad, for putting up the link here. As you know, I said earlier, Andrea's at Rotary tonight. She's now become a fully fledged Rotarian. We're so proud of our Andrea. And what we've got going in March, on the 22nd of March, is the Rotary Ramble. They do it every year to raise funds for popular charities, and AAIC are included this year. So what it is all about, it's like a treasure hunt. You create a team of 4 to 6 people, and you go around the Surfers Paradise Southport area looking for certain things and having fun together. There's fancy dress. Click on the link. If I point down with my thumb, am I pointing to the link? Click on the link right there, folks, so that you can register a team for the Rotary Ramble and say that please make it, when you do register, please, if there's space there for your favourite charity, please put Australian Anti-Ice campaign that you'll be doing this Rotary Ramble for. So it's a lot of fun. We get together and just, ramble around Surfers Paradise, the Gold Coast, looking for clues to things and having a lot of fun. So thank you for the Rotary for doing that for us, and thank you for the Rotary as a whole in Australia, just as they support us in so many ways. Speaking of support, you too can support us here at Australian Anti-Ice Campaign. Just go on our website. Is that up there now? If I'm pointing to it again, go on our website and go to Give Now. We would love for you to support us. We are still without an office, looking for an office, and we really need much needed funds to be able to raise enough to be able to afford to pay rent for an office. So unless you know of somebody or a business that would like to support us, and you know somebody who could offer an office for us, please give us a ring on our 56656063 number during business hours. We'd love to have a chat with you if you'd like to do that. And if you want to just support us financially, go to our Give Now or our Giving link on our website, and a minimum of $10 a month is all you need to be able to support a child in getting education and awareness out there on the dangers of ice addiction. Those of you who have been there know what the hell journey, what Ice World's all about. It's no good for anybody, no fun at all. And so we want to use our lived experience people to go out into the community, schools, workplaces, prisons, juvies, to share about the dangers of ice addiction, okay? So that kids can be well informed when they get offered, and it's not if these days, it's when they get offered drugs. Even marijuana can be laced with ice. You can never be sure that you're getting the purest of anything these days. I don't care how weak you think these drugs are, there is a chance it can be laced with ice, and ice is methamphetamines is the number one very addictive drug that you can get addicted to straight away. We don't want that for anybody in our community, because you see all the complications that comes with that. So I think that's about it. I want to thank our sponsors, Cruising Gold Coast, as I said, Mercer and Cooper, and Rotary, that support us well. I want to thank Russell McLean and those at Well Sales who are allowing us to use that room at their church there until we find ourselves an office. So that's great. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Right, let's get down to business. Take a breath. I'm going to have a drink of my coffee. Cheers. And now I'd love to introduce you all to a lovely young lady called Clara. Clara lives on the Sunshine Coast. How are you, Clara?
Good, thank you, Carla.
Carla, oh Carla, you know, as I said your name, I thought, that's not right. I put the L in the wrong place. Sorry, darling. Carla, welcome to our Australian Anti-Ice Let's Talk About Ice program. Now, Carla, you're a family member of a loved one that had an addiction with ice, is that correct?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're the sister of your brother. So what we'd like to know and explore with you and your family, if that's okay, for you to share maybe how you found out your brother was on drugs and what journey your family went through regarding that. I don't know if you want to use the name of your brother, do you? Or would you like to keep that anonymous?
I'll just say my brother, but that's okay, yeah.
That's okay. So the journey that you guys went through as a family, because it does affect our family and it affects the community as a whole when people are taken down that ice world and that hell of experience that they have on ice. So Clara, where would you like to start, love? I'll leave that up to you because you've thought about it all day.
Sure. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm very grateful for this interview. This program sounds really wonderful. I've been wanting to be involved for a while, so I feel really lucky that you've given me the time to speak about this topic. Yeah, look, in terms of when did we find out about my brother being on drugs? Well, I mean, he did start as a teenager with marijuana when he was around 16, I suppose, when a lot of kids tend to start. And that was going on for years and years, you know, with the marijuana. And, you know, we Mum and Dad were sort of a bit oblivious for a while, and that he'd be doing it at home and things like that. I moved interstate for work, and I would come back and I'd see him in the backyard, doing bongs and that kind of thing, like at 3 o'clock in the morning and all that kind of stuff. And
Yep.
yeah, look, it's been going on. How old is he now? Well, I'm 35. He's 31, and it's been going on, up until he's 6 months in recovery. So up until then. So how has it led to ICE? Well, it's this whole big topic about marijuana, legalizing marijuana and things is a really big issue in our family, because we believe that my brother started from that one.
Yeah, and it's usually known as a gateway drug, isn't it? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always thought of myself as a normal middle class family, and as we know, drugs can happen in any family. And I think it's incredibly difficult for parents to actually accept that this is going on. I suppose it's like having a child's disability or something that you're not ready to face. Everyone's got to accept it in their own time. And I sort of knew it going on a lot earlier, and I told my parents a lot of frustration and anger around that for a couple of years, I suppose. And then eventually they came to realise that it had become too late,
Yep.
Which I don't hold, I don't hold anger towards my parents, but it certainly has caused over the years a lot of rifts between us. Yeah.
Yeah. So was your brother living at home at the time he was doing the drug, or was he away from home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started when he was at home.
Yes.
And he had a friend who was doing it, and quite often, you get two people who are magnets towards each other with these sorts of things, and we knew this particular person wasn't, say, a good friend to my brother.
Yep.
But once somebody's an adult, you're really powerless to it all, and it's incredibly frustrating.
Yep.
So, yeah.
How bad did it get for you guys?
Ask questions.
Sorry?
I just said I could go on, but maybe it's better to ask me questions.
Okay. No, that's okay. It's easy to do. I understand that. I was going to ask you, did your brother show signs like of psychosis within the family? Did he, how did he change? What was he like before drugs? How did he become once he was addicted to this ice?
Yeah. Look, my brother was really chilled out when he was a kid. I mean, he was pretty passive, I suppose, just got on with things. When he was, he'd come home from school and Mum would say, "How was your day at school?" "Yeah, good." Like, he wasn't really much of a talker. He didn't really share much of his emotions and things like that, which, I guess we worry about men's health and things like that.
Yes.
And maybe that's part of it, but I don't know. I certainly don't think, both of us had a fantastic childhood, and my brother would say that. He wouldn't, I think there was a long time when he'd be blaming me, I suppose, because I was the one that went to uni and he didn't and things, and, I've been more fortunate. But I think he realises now that it's his choices and it's an illness.
That's good. So how did he become once he got on that ice? What sort of a person did he turn into?
Oh, he wasn't my brother.
Yeah. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't the person who I remember. It was incredibly challenging. I mean, I wouldn't say I've blocked it out of my mind now, but I've certainly come to deal with it and know that there was a person behind the drug. But I'll give you an extreme example. He was in a housing trust home, and I don't know how much you know about these homes, but some of them are really great. Like, they're modern, they've got all the facilities. They're much nicer than the rentals that others can afford, in my opinion. And anyway, my brother had an ice bender one night, I believe it was with this friend, um, and completely destroyed the property. There were things written all over the wall about the devil. There was food splashed all over the walls. There were knife marks everywhere.
And that's you're not the only one who says that. It's a very similar story to everybody. They go down this, and this is why we say they go to hell, because hell represents the devil and all those things, demonic, and that's because once you open your brain to this pathway, that allows those demonic things to come in, and you lose control. Because that's the part of the brain, that frontal lobe, that the ice basically, as we say, fries it. And so you go and you do these crazy things, and then when you come down, that's when the psychosis starts, because you're fight or flight mode. So did your brother end up in mental health, or did he end up in jail at all?
Both.
Okay.
Yep. I actually could not even track the train of events with it all, because it's a crazy journey. But I think he started off probably in prison. He was in the watch house. I was the person who was told that night when it happened, and I was completely helpless because I wasn't there to help him. But yes, mental health hospital Adelaide. He was at the same mental health hospital at the son of the Adelaide Crows, if you remember that story, maybe.
Yep.
So the boy Walsh, I can't remember his first name. I would say his name's been protected in things now where he's been confined. But my brother is held in the same place. He murdered his dad when he was on ice. So,
okay.
Yeah, I was visiting my brother in that facility and seeing that young fella.
Yep. Okay. And that would have been scary for you?
Yeah, I mean, at that stage I was pretty numb. I guess I wanted to support my mum. My mum obviously wanted to visit her son.
Yes.
I guess what was more scary was, and I can laugh about it now, which sounds a bit crazy, but I remember you sit across a little table in the visiting room, it's like an interview and you go and speak to somebody, and there was this man, quite a big guy, who came and served us a cup of tea, and when we went out, my mum actually said, you know that he murdered his parents about 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And I was horrified. I couldn't believe that somebody who just served me tea was
Yep, you're cutting in and out there.
I mean, when I found out, yeah.
Okay. I think I got what you said there, because you're cutting in and out a little bit. But that's okay. It's probably the storm that we're having. So seeing things like that is just not normal. What was it that was the turning point for your brother, would you say?
He had to have a couple of stints in prison to, I suppose, start to reflect on himself and realise that it was nobody else's fault but his own.
Yep.
Because, there was a lot of anger and things like that. The homelessness, I believe, helped him to a degree. He literally had no... Yeah.
It sounds to me like your family were not enabling him like some families do, but they do it out of love and they don't realise they're doing it. So do you know what I mean by enabling and not enabling?
Absolutely, 100%. Yep. In fact, it'll make me teary because I've been programmed called Al-Anon, which I like to talk about because I've got some time. And
very good, yep.
That program talks quite a lot about enabling and how it's actually both selfish actually, and we enable people for our own needs without realising.
Yep.
So my parents actually did a long time, which I found, as I mentioned before, we had quite a bit of tension in the family.
Yeah, and that
I could see what was going on, and I couldn't. And it was all, you know everything, and you're not here to see what's going on all the time, all of this, and so that creates me, and enabling. It's really actually hard sometimes to know when you're enabling and when you're not.
Yeah, it is hard.
And it's actually a constant battle to check it in yourself all the time.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, until somebody hits their button, whatever that means to them.
Okay.
Um,
Yep.
mm.
So if you could say something to a family member out there now who's struggling with a loved one in addiction, what advice would you give them regarding your lessons surrounding the enabling and not enabling?
Yeah. There's a lot of words I could use. One of them would be hands off.
I like
One
that.
of them would be, stay in your lane. Don't blame anybody. You know, everybody involved in that addict's life. And when I talk about this, I'm not actually just talking about ice. I'm actually
No,
talking
of course
about
not.
all sorts of addiction.
Yes.
Everybody involved in that person's life, however that may look, is sick. It is a family disease, and family can be friends and family.
Well put. Well put. Yep. That is well put, Carla, because
Carla.
Carla, it's well put because it affects the whole family. I know it was my situation. I had a sister in addiction, and how it did affect you. Didn't even have to live at home for it to affect you. We were grown up, we had our own lives, and it still affected us as a family disease because it brought out the worst in us, I suppose, and it also brought out the good in us at the same token. So I can relate to that. So I love what you're saying. Yeah, keep going.
No, I'm thinking about when my brother was actually how I felt during that time, and I think I mentioned to you on the phone earlier today how much guilt I felt as a sibling.
Yes.
And particularly, I don't know if it's because I'm the oldest or what it is, but you know, I have a tendency to feel responsible for my younger brothers. A lot of us do with our younger siblings. But you know, any time that I had a chance to have fun or be happy, I felt so much guilt around that because all I could think about was my brother in four walls. You know, I play music. Music really helped me during that time. I released a couple of songs about that topic. You know, music
did you?
affects a lot of people.
Are you a singer?
Yeah, I try to be.
Oh, that's fantastic because creativity does help release. And it's funny because we're getting, AAIC are in the process of getting a music program going for those coming out of addiction. And we see that, and we're also getting a sports program started going as well. And within the next, I'd say within 12 months, we'll have that up and running to help those that are coming out of rehab that need somewhere to go to put their creative juices at work, and because that helps create new neurological pathways in the brain as well. So it's funny that you should mention the singing and the music because that is excellent, and it's an excellent way of release for you. And it's really funny, Carla. I totally, in a lot of ways, I can relate to you because I had a sister, as I said, in addiction, and the same thing. If I didn't, I chose not to enable her. My family couldn't understand that, and I think they do now. And so there's mixed emotions. There's, questions why aren't you doing this? Why, and everybody has to, so you have to be on the same page. So how did you guys come together as a family, and were you the ones that helped your brother get into rehab, or did he do it himself? How did that come about?
My brother hasn't actually been in rehab.
Okay.
That's fine. We as a family found that incredibly frustrating that it wasn't like a forced thing. And you can't actually make someone go to rehab, which is, I can't even begin to explain the frustration of how the mental health works here. Like it just, we basically, the cycle for us as a family was hospital, mental health, prison, hospital, mental health, and it would just keep going and going. And, you know, I'd ring the doctor. Like, I guess when you ask, you know, when had we worked this out as a family, well, I guess the most recent thing, and this was just before his last stint in prison, and we really hope it is the last, now that he's been in recovery for a while. My mum actually went to America, which was huge in our family because my mum has never been overseas without my dad, and it was like a really big trip, and I think she just kind of had enough of doing it all, you know, and just having to deal with this constant, like, you know, train wreck in the family. And that actually helped us as a family. You know,
amazing.
In a family, you know, single person's important, you know, and having mum sort of removed from the situation kind of forced my dad and I to go, all right, we need to communicate a little bit more about things. And yeah, you know, there was one night when my dad was the police on my brother.
Yes.
You know, me being up in Queensland, my parents down south, was really difficult. It was happening around, well, this time last year actually. And yeah, you know, there was so much anger in me. I was just like, how can, you know, let me talk to the police, like, you know, and I'm ringing the police trying to talk to them and explain, and you know, and yeah, I guess you know, it's about forgiveness and really understanding each other's hurt and pain, because you know we all feel pain through it, and respect, you know, boundaries and.
So did it end up being a decision from your brother because he kept going around the same mountain all the time? And was that a decision that your brother suddenly made, like, that's it, I've had enough, I don't want to do this anymore, or what happened?
Yeah, look, and look, I said that he didn't do rehab. He did do some form of rehab in prison.
Right.
That was sort of part of his conviction. Yeah. He's on medication now for psychosis and things like that.
Yes.
You know, and that's also part of the condition. And I believe that he has to see a psychologist and all the rest for all of it. So, you know, in terms of whether it's a choice or not, well, I think hopefully it's been drilled into him now that the choice is. And they say this in Al-Anon and AA, or prison.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
You know, I think we hope that he's woken up. So yeah, but you know, I can tell you it's not easy in recovery either.
No, it's not. You still get your days where you have your challenges, that's for sure. So are you close with your brother now? What's the situation now?
Look, and I close. He's a musician as well, so we've always had music in common, which is really nice.
Yes.
You know, we've obviously chosen very different paths in life, but that, you know, he's always your sibling, you know, he's always your brother, always your sister, whoever. So you know, I don't hold any grudges. He holds some grudges towards me, but I just try and let it go. You know, you go from, it's so emotional, you know, you go from anger to despair to, you know, how dare you do this to our family. You know, I mean, around Christmas time was particularly hard, as it can be for a lot of families. And,
yes.
You know, my brother and I had a bit of an argument around something, and you know, but we've sort of dealt with that. I think time and distance can often be a good thing.
Yes, it can. It's what you said earlier, Carla. It was about letting go, and like your mum had to go away to be able to let go a bit for things to happen, and otherwise you become codependent, and you become codependent on your loved one, and you don't mean to. In fact, Brad, just in front of that computer, there's a pink book. I'd like to do a plug at the moment. Rosalind Saunders, one of our wonderful counsellors, has a book out called, if everyone can see that, Emotional Sobriety. Okay, and she was a mum who had kids in addiction. She wrote a book about it, her journey, and she's called it Emotional Sobriety, Finding Raw Courage to Recover from Codependency. And it sounds like that yourself, like we all do, we become codependent, and that means that's an addiction in itself. And and so if anyone wants this book, it's on our website, on our online shop. Don't ask me how much it is. It can't be that much. I think it's about $20 or something. And it's a really good read. It's an easy read for you to have a look at, to talk about that you become codependent to the point that your own health and well-being suffers. And that's not just in addiction, like you said. It's in a lot of areas, in your work life, in your ministry, any other addiction that you're trying to cope with within the family, you know. And it's a good book to read and learn a lot from another person's journey, which is what you're doing tonight. Let me encourage you, Carla. Your story, going out there and sharing, I'm sure, and please write in, folks. You can write in. I'll check your messages later, and I'll get Carla to check your messages later. If you are relating to this story well, please let us know, okay? Let us know that you are relating to it. If you have any questions, please write them down, and I'll get Carla to answer any of your questions. She can get online on the Facebook later after the program, if that's okay with you, Carla. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and answer anyone's questions that they may have, because she's been there, she's done that, she's had lessons learnt, okay? And if you're going through addiction yourself, you can also call out to us. Our number is 1-800-NO-TO-ICE, okay? And Brad will put that up on the screen, 1-800-NO-TO-ICE. And we will see what we can do to get you a lived experience person that we call a buddy, who can do the journey with you, can support you, because they've been on that journey themselves. We do that also with family support, Carla. We have those like yourself that can be on our books to help loved ones or family members who've had loved ones in addiction, to be a support for them as well. So I'd love to catch up with you a little bit more about that, maybe tomorrow or next week, if that's okay with you. Yes. Yep. So guys, go on our Facebook. You can, if you do not want to ring that number, you can also private message us on our Facebook page. The Australian Anti-Ice Campaign Facebook page has a private message that you can put in if you'd like to receive some support. Okay. Now I asked you if you could share any advice to people. Carla, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, I guess I don't want to do a plug as such, but I just wanted to talk about my. Well, I guess anything that helps. You know, we all find our different ways of helping ourselves, don't we? Because I guess that's what I'd like to share, is that you can really. This is a real self journey, but it's also you need to connect with people who understand and can empathise, but can also detach. Because we can't save other people. So I guess what I wanted to mention very quickly is this program called Al-Anon that I am involved in. Maybe some people have heard of this program before. It's actually the sister program of AA, which, as we know, Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
Narcotics Anonymous is a separate thing, but essentially these programs all follow the same 12 steps. The Al-Anon program is predominantly for friends and family of alcoholics. However, I believe, there are lots of people in the program who have family members who are ice addicts, and, it really is a fantastic program in terms of, I think, gentle on yourself. It's a spiritual journey, it's a God of your understanding. So if you're not religious, if you are religious, whatever that means to you. But yeah, I can't emphasize how wonderful this program is.
Wow.
I've never been one to be part of a program, but this is it's a program.
Okay, that's good, because like you said, if you're not the type of person to be part of a program, then that, and you're saying that, then it must have some benefits to it. What was the biggest benefit you could explain that helped you with Al-Anon? What did it help you see that you never saw before you went to it?
For me, I saw that other people understood my journey, which sounds a bit silly. You don't want to be like, oh, you don't want to go through this self-pity. But I felt really lonely, really lonely in what I was going through, and a lot of shame. Oh my gosh, my brother's in prison. You know, like I'd have friends sort of say, oh yeah, I caught up with my brother for dinner, or you know, my sister and I are doing this together, and I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
I just didn't really. I was very antisocial and really depressed. You know, I still have my moments with that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Al-Anon program, it's like it's meetings. You attend meetings, and you can choose reading from. They've got a whole range of different literature. And you can have a sponsor actually, which is, it sounds similar to what you guys are, as somebody tour type person you can speak to.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I personally haven't really started the steps, I suppose, consistently. I'm at the stage of attending meetings and you know, the first step says, you know, my life has become unmanageable, and I'm powerless over alcohol, which could be I'm powerless over ice, heroin, whatever, and my life has become unmanageable. Well, that's about letting go, and some people can be on that step for years and years and years, and I think
Yes.
that needs to be well known, because everyone involved in that on their own journey, and if any one of those people pushes anyone else to be where they want them to be, that's actually control.
Yes.
You know, we know that we can't control the addict, but we also can't control the people involved. So it's really challenging for everybody, which is why I encourage not just to look up slogans and quotes and things, but to actually be active in the program, or some sort of program where you're constantly checking in on yourself, because
that's great, because even family members need that set of accountability, if you call it that, and people out there that know your journey, because unless you lived experience, I'm sorry, but you do not have the full understanding of what these people are going through. I'm going to just do another plug for another group here, because these community services that we've come alongside, like Al-Anon and Man Up, Sisterhood is another great community service that helps people get to the root of their struggle, and even those who are in recovery, we encourage them to go to Sisterhood, Man Up, Al-Anon, because it tends to open you up and unmask, because the pain and the reason why maybe your loved one did addiction, or why you've done addiction, and it helps you get to the root cause, so that you can learn how to handle that whenever life throws another curveball at you, because we're all human, we all have curveballs in our life thrown at us. How do we deal with it when they do? A lot of people deal with it by masking the pain. They go to alcohol, they go to drugs, they go to umpteen other things, you know. You get the picture. So if we can learn how to have strategies on how to deal with these things, and these groups teach us that, they show us that, because they've been there themselves. They know what works, what doesn't work, you know. So yeah, I really appreciate you sharing, Carla. It's great. I feel like I've known you forever, and I can relate to you to a certain extent with what you've been through. How are your parents now? Like, your brother's now in recovery. You guys do singing together. That's fantastic. What about your parents? Are they in a good place?
Yeah, they're better than they were, that's for sure. My mum was a wreck, and it was really hard. We've all been a wreck. You know, we've
totally
had
get it.
our moments, you know. But now, I mean, my mum, when she came back from America, she decided that she didn't want to live that family home anymore. We've been in that home for. We were both, you know, newborns in that home, so we've, you know, lots of very happy memories.
Yes.
Over the last probably decade, some really, really bad memories. You know, really fine, yeah, my mum just sort of said, I can't, you know, that they've got CCTV cameras and stuff that was
Oh, wow.
put in place, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it was the police, but somebody, you know, and so yeah, they've gone and got another house, and you know,
It's
my brother lives with them.
okay. Yep.
He, yeah, you know,
There is one
so
other point you mentioned earlier was the guilt, and I know a lot of people suffer, parents suffer from guilt. I mean, you can come from the most amazing, loving family home and still get caught up in this drug addiction. It's got nothing to do with your upbringing. This drug does not differentiate between levels of society that you live in. I mean, if everyone who knows the story of Andrea, the CEO and founder of Anti-Ice, this lady was a self-made millionaire businesswoman at the age of 40, was just simply offered a pipe from someone that she trusted. 2 years later, she smoked all her millions away. You know, it doesn't differentiate. It doesn't discriminate. So getting back to the guilt bit, your parents would have suffered a little bit of that guilt as well. Is that correct?
oh, absolutely, we all
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And I would, if I'm completely honest, that's, you know, that's affected my choice in relationships and
Yeah.
friendships over the years. You know, and because that guilt carries over, and so you think, okay, I can't save him, maybe I'll go and save somebody else, you know, and we have a tendency, I think, to want to others, you know, majority of us do, but it's the sickness to do that, so you have to just really let go, and it's so hard.
Yeah, it totally
Yeah,
is.
that guilt, it's I don't know. My dad says that my mum and I carry the guilt gene. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I just certainly feel, I don't know whether it comes from self-esteem, or whether it's like, I mean, I've always worked with children and people. I've always been sort of a relational kind of a, you know, those kind of roles, working with people, and maybe a bit of a people pleaser. And you know, I thank the addicts in my life, because they're not the scum that the
No.
media portrays them to be,
Very
which is
good point.
what I have found incredibly hard to watch. You know, some are, but so are some millionaires. You know.
I know, absolutely. Very good point.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, everybody brings something to your life. It's all a lesson, you know, and I actually thank the addicts in my life, because they've taught me a lot about myself, and you know, about how to I guess put myself first, and to love them, you know, from afar, because you know, I had so much love for my brother when he was in prison. Like, it didn't matter about the walls to me. It's in your heart.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I just love how you put it. You put it such a wonderful way that those addicts that you guys see down the street when you're walking, there's somebody's daughter, son, mother, brother, uncle, nephew, niece. You know, they've got someone there that you don't see that is probably hurting behind the scenes. You know, and people got to realise that it's not them. Like you said, your brother was a lovely, easygoing person until the drug took a hold of him, and it was not your brother anymore. And that's like them, because of what it does to the brain. And I'll repeat it again, it eats away at your brain, because people, if you're considering it, consider this. What I have learned, they put in this drug to make it go further, to get more money. They put acetones, they put what is it? What's the stuff you put down your sink to unblock your sink? Drano,
probably.
Yeah, and nail polish remover. They put all these things in this that are chemicals that we are not to take. Our body is not to take, and it eats away your cells in the brain, and which means you do not have that function anymore. It's like when you break a leg. You cannot walk on your leg until it's healed. Our brain is broken once you take that drug, and that person is a broken brain. It's not scum as people like to see them as, and like you said, the media do portray them the wrong way, and this is why Australian Anti-ICE campaign, look, I'm not saying we have all the answers, but what I'm saying is we want to get out there, we want to train the police, we want to train the AMBOs in how to deal with these people that they deal with on a constantly in the days, during the day on their shifts, you know, and how to talk to them, how to bring them down when they're in psychosis and thinking the government's after me, they're going to get me, and then they get into fight flight mode. You know, if only they could learn how to speak with them gently and say, listen, we're here to save you from that, we're here to help you, rather than throwing them down and handcuffing them and treating them like, you know, what they do. It's all back to education. And this is where AAIC come in with the education and the awareness. And listen, at this point, can I just also mention, now that school's gone back, if you have youth, and I'm saying older kids in high schools, in secondary schools, please go to your principal. We can give you some information to take to your principal. We need to get into your classroom. We do from year 10 to year 12s. We do the interactive workshop using lived experience people. They come into the classroom, they'll say to the kids, we're not here to be your teacher, your mother, we're not even here to tell you not to do drugs. That's their opening line. We're here to tell you what happens if and when you do get offered that drug. This is what happened to me. I lost a loved one who was murdered. I was in the mental health institute. I've got scars. This is what happened to me. Please don't let it happen to you. And I'm telling you now, I'm care team coordinator. I'm sorry I get passionate here. I love my presenters. I love those who live the experience, like you said, Carla. I love the addicts because they teach us about ourselves and they want to get out there. And I tell you now, once they recover, they just want to give back. They don't want to see anybody go down the same road that they've been down, you know, and they want to get out there and they want to warn the young people. They want to warn the youth of today and the generation that's rising up, you know, against this evil drug.
Leanne?
Yes?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just
Do it.
Thinking well about that. Like, you know, I've heard of people going to prison and, you know, talking to murderers and things like that. And, you know, they've said everyone wants to be a good person.
Yes.
Deep down, we want to be good people.
Absolutely.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe there are some people out there who are just at their core really bad. I struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, we all do.
Especially working with children, you've got naughty kids and what have you, and, you know, for various reasons. But I truly believe, and I'm just adding to what you're saying, that connection is the key.
Amen.
If you don't feel connected to other people,
that's it. These
crazy thoughts start going on, you know, your monkey mind starts going to play. All of this modern world of social media, you know, we I emphasize it enough. Facebook Messenger and these other things, and myself, you know, everyone's using it now. It can really just disconnect people as well, because, you know, we're human beings and humans work on our own time, you know, and sometimes we might see a message during the day that might actually trigger something in us, because at that time we're thinking about something else, you know, whereas, yeah, you just have to be really, you've got to watch yourself, because there's so many things, so many people, and we don't really realise that the impact that they have on us, and until sometimes it's too late, and that's when we do turn to these things.
Yep, that's right, exactly. I love it.
I'm not saying social media is bad, but
no, but it does have its downers, and it can trigger that. And there's a lot of problems with everything. It's all in the way we use it. It's the way we balance our lives with it, you know. And once again, as we've got to wind up our program for the night, Carla, I've absolutely adored and loved speaking with you tonight. I'm so glad you called me today to say that you could share this story, because you have helped.
I thought I've got to talk.
And you've talked well, my love, and you've said the most amazing things just to help encourage those out there that have loved ones in addiction, struggling. And like we said, it doesn't have to be ice; it can be any kind of addiction. Now, is there anything that you could think of that you'd like to say before we say goodbye about your journey? Anything quickly that you'd like to say?
Oh, just that if someone's going through whatever addiction or their family members, you're not alone. There are a lot of people struggling, and there is support out there for family members too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, ring our
You just need
1-800
to
not
find
no twice. Yeah, that's it. And you can find it, and we've had people find it. I've had people randomly just go on Google and they found us. And because of that, we've been able to help support them and their loved ones. And we've got that. We've got the system in place. We've got the most amazing counsellors available too. We also, I like to get to know a lot of rehabs, and we have some rehabs that we can help as well with. Takes time. It's a journey. It's not easy. But if you're determined to change your life for good, you can do it. It's the first few months that's difficult, but you get over that hump, and then it can get easier, as you go on. So I want to thank you, Carla, so much for sharing about your brother.
No worries. Thank you.
Would he have been watching tonight?
I haven't let him know, but I probably will. I've mentioned this campaign to him before, so
Okay.
I think he may very well.
Okay. Well, if he needs to ring, and if he wants to ring to receive a buddy, we're very happy for him to continue that and maybe get some encouragement from someone, because I'm sure, regarding addiction, with the stages of change, you've got to be careful with the relapse part of it. And so we have buddies, and we have people that are, like I said, been on that journey. They can encourage your brother. They can also encourage your family. So thank you so very much for sharing. I'm sure a lot of that has brought back memories for you, like you said, that you haven't thought of for a long time. I pray tonight that you sleep well and that those memories do not have a negative effect on you. And
I know.
Yeah. Okay, and so guys, just thank you once again as we say goodnight for another week of live stream. Andrea will be back next week with a fantastic interview at this stage with one of our newest presenters and lived experience blokes. So that'll be happening next week. Don't forget about our Rotary Ramble. Register at the link that Brad has put up on the show tonight. And also don't forget to be watching Sky Breakfast on the television network of Sky on Monday morning. Andrea will be on that breakfast program promoting Australian Anti-Ice campaign. So until next week, we all say not even once. See you guys. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, Leanne.
Thanks, Carla. Bye.